so they're all scattering back to Tommy Chong. He really holds the keys to this mystery.
What's the rush, dudes?
We got time, man.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. You know what time it is. It's that time again. It's time for you to kill a Delibird. It's time for us to kill a Delibird, the podcast where we go through the old Pokemon anime. We take a look at the story, we compare it to some things, we do some objective ratings, and all the time, we just have a lot of fun. As per usual, I'm Kellan, one of the hosts of the podcast, and I'm joined today, as I always am, by Graham. Graham, how you doing?
I'm doing good. You forgot to remind the audience that you're the Pokemon expert. I'm the guy who talks about other stuff, literature, manga, whatever, and just generally tries to have a good time. We combine the two like a luxurious stew. I don't know if I'm the broth and you're the carrots, or you're the beef and I'm the onions, but we bring it together. And today I'm really excited because we got some extra seasoning for that stew. Got a good friend of mine. We go way back. This is my friend Ryan. Ryan, how you doing?
Good. That's the worst question for me. How am I doing? Well, when I think about it, I'm on a podcast. This is new. It seems surreal. What's up?
I like that.
I'm terrified.
So, Ryan, I know you'll have a fun perspective today, interesting perspective. Ryan's got a master's in philosophy, and he is a chess fanatic.
Don't remind me. Yeah, I like chess.
I also, Kellan sometimes brings up my education in this podcast, and I suddenly get self-conscious. I'm like, why would you say that?
You're hitting me with all the hard ones here right off the bat, man. Jeez.
I know.
I keep thinking you have a PhD.
I know, that's even worse. It's like I'm talking about cartoons on the internet. Why would you bring that up?
Putting it to use, right? Putting it to use.
Exactly.
At least my degree is in film. It's at least somewhat related.
That is true. So, Ryan, we brought you on today. We love to give people a chance to pick the episodes they want to talk about, maybe just a Pokemon they remembered from your youth. Mm-hmm. And you said, how about Snorlax? So what is it about Snorlax that you remembered?
Oh, man, what a blast to the past. You know, for me, actually, I don't even remember the episode of the Snorlax. I probably didn't see that, but for me, probably one of the most memorable moments in the games was when I came across the Snorlax and just how hard he was to actually catch. I had to get him down to a sliver of HP, and he just still wouldn't even go in. I think and then I had to get a Master Ball. It was impossible without the Master Ball. And I don't know, just I've been a little bit into Pokemon in my adult life, with the Pokemon Go and going to card conventions. Being into Yu-Gi-Oh! I've seen the Pokemon stuff here and there, but looking at the Snorlax just gives me warm, fuzzy feelings inside,
Oh, heck yeah. That's a great story.
I relate to Snorlax a lot. If my life could just be sleep and eat, it'd be great.
Oh, yeah, I learned a lot from the episode that we watched.
But no, we have to pay taxes.
Literally only wakes up when he needs to eat. That's next level,
That's
bro.
the life.
That's pretty fucking
level.
cool.
Yeah. I think that's dope, yeah.
What an existence. I'm imagining he's got a lot of crazy dreams, really.
Oh,
it's
man.
your whole existence is dreaming.
I can't imagine. It's honestly, I feel like Snorlax's existence has got to be something next level. Probably when he wakes up, that's what dreaming is for him.
Yeah, because most of his life is the real world.
Yeah. He's doing a serious Inception.
Crazy. Yeah, next Inception. They should make an Inception 2 that has features
Inception
a Snorlax.
2, starring Snorlax.
Right. It's this is the densest dream world ever. It's got the most detail. So I know that you like chess, Ryan. So you're not that familiar with the podcast. So I'm gonna fill you in. Every week I like to do a thing here where I either imagine or do some research about what other podcasts could be, are, exist, don't, should exist, should not exist, hypotheticals around podcasts and wordplay. So I started thinking in the chessboard, what if the chess pieces had their own podcasts? Okay?
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
Okay.
So the first podcast I thought of, Life in a Ponzi Scheme. That's the Pawns podcast. All about being totally ruled by the upper class. Life in a Ponzi scheme. Okay, how about this one? Turning L's to W's, A Knight's Tale. because they move in an L.
Wow, actually, that's great. The W, yeah, you got to remember that W pattern to remember your bishop and knight checkmate.
Oh, hell yeah, it worked on other levels. Yeah. I just meant turning losses to wins.
You must have figured out that bishop and knight checkmate recently, haven't you?
I do a lot of the Lee chess puzzles. They're pretty fun.
Yeah, nobody knows how to do this one. It's okay.
Oh, that's next level.
Yeah, no, it's a waste of time. It'll never happen.
Okay. Ryan's really good at chess, and I am an absolute slob. But it's an interesting game. I do like it. Okay, so here, next up, the bishops. They're weirdo freaks, really. Like, the bishops are weird. They have a podcast called Bisectioned Interdimensional Strikers Handling Orders Perpetually. Spells bishops.
Wow.
I like to think of the bishops as interdimensional because, like, they never meet. One's on the white plane. One's on the black plane. They live their lives.
That's a good observation.
Like shadows to each other.
That's one of the first things you got to learn about the bishops. Yeah.
Yeah, that they can't talk.
One's white. Exactly.
They can't even see each other. What are they doing? Crazy shit.
Holy moly. It's like their alter ego in another dimension that's mirroring them.
Yeah, one should have a little goatee. That's how we remember them.
From the dark timeline.
Exactly, the dark timeline bishop. So the Rooks. Everyone loves the Rooks. They do a podcast called From Princess Peach to Dracula, Behind the Scenes with Famous Castle Enthusiasts. Because they are castles. You get it? Do you get it? You guys get it?
So,
unfortunately,
did you make these up, or are these from somewhere?
These are real podcasts.
These are real podcasts?
Oh my God, they're real.
I thought you were just being creative. I was going to commend you. Wow.
Wow, thank you. I mean, not thank you. I mean, yeah, they're real.
Giving me ideas for my spare time.
Now, we've worked our way up to the Queen with her beautiful podcast, 8 Ways to Kill, because she moves 8 ways. Interviews with octopuses, Doc Ock, Shiva, a spider, and other multi-armed characters. I don't know.
That's
Goro
a real podcast.
From Mortal Kombat.
Wow.
Yes, this is a real podcast, Ryan, where the Queen from the chessboard interviews Doc Ock.
I have not heard of it, but it sounds interesting.
It's a banger. It's a banger. And finally, all the way at the top, King Me chats with fragile alpha males.
Oh my.
That's checkers, though.
Fragile alpha males.
Well, is it? I mean, the king is so interesting because he's just like the flaccid penis of the chessboard. Very important, but awfully soft and weak.
Yeah.
All right, so that's my bit for now. Kellan, where are we at? How you doing?
Let's talk some Pokemon, shall we?
Let's talk some Pokemon. What are we reviewing this week?
Today, we are looking at episode 42, The Battling Eevee Brothers, and episode 43, Wake Up, Snorlax.
Hell yeah.
Let's jump into it. Episode 42, Battling Eevee Brothers. The gang, as usual, are journeying through a forest where they see a sweet little abandoned Eevee leashed to a tree.
Yeah, Brock points out that he's abandoned, but he's also tied up and has a collar and food and
water.
Stuff. So
yeah,
Brock is like the smartest idiot ever.
Mm-hmm. So Eevee, if you don't know, is this adorable little dog guy, and we love Eevee.
Yeah, he's a little dog, right?
He's a little puppy.
Oh, don't start asking what animals they actually are, because we'll be
on
a
whole can of worms.
Oh man, yeah. Is it a dog?
I think they are closest to dogs than anything else. But yeah, no, they're not quite dogs. They just look like little pups, and I love them, and everyone loves Eevee.
Yeah.
And if you don't love Eevee, turn this podcast off. We don't want you here.
Yeah, it's a runner-up for one of the cutest Pokemon of all time, for sure.
Yeah, Eevee and Pikachu are like the graphically designed mascot Pokemon, really.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They work as logos as well as they do as creatures.
Right.
I mean, they were literally the faces of the Let's Go games.
Exactly. Yeah, they're like, Pokemon are brand. What's the difference?
Exactly. Precisely. So they find an address on this Eevee's tag. It leads them to Stone Town at the foot of Evolution Mountain, which 2 more locations that not in the games are anime exclusive.
And very on the nose names here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, very much so. And I mean, I feel like all of them are. Remember Gringy City?
I love Gringy City, aka Hamilton, Ontario.
So on the way there, Ash decides to learn all about Eevee's evolutions, or the Eeveelutions, if you will. There's Flareon, there's Jolteon, there's Vaporeon, a fire type, an electric type, a water type. All great Pokemon. We love them all. Everyone loves the Eeveelutions.
Yeah, we should talk about these things for a second. So, Eevee, the evolution Pokemon, what a title.
I didn't even realize that the name is related to evolution. Do you think that has anything to do with Eevee,
Eevee, evolution? I think so.
Maybe.
Possibly,
Maybe.
yeah.
Like it's just the letters E and V, but sounded out.
I think it means something.
Yeah, what does it mean? Roll with it.
Oh, Eevee can transform or evolve into 3 different types. So there's something like special about Eevee. Like that's her special thing, is that she can evolve into 3 choices, which is kind of unique compared to all the other Pokemon, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. It's a creature of potential, and there's something beautiful in the Eevee. As it just exists because of that potential. You're like you're so many things at once, and yet you're none of them at the same time.
Schrodinger's Eevee.
I think Eevee itself is a metaphor for mortality and how we only have one life.
Wow.
And we reflect on the people we could be and the people we are and the people we aren't.
I think that Eevee is a metaphor for cute doggies.
Well, that too. I don't know if you know what a metaphor is, but
I took grade 9 English.
Oh, nice.
Thank you very much.
I mean, I guess that's nice. Is that nice?
It's required.
English in high school is quite the experience.
Mm-hmm. So you wanted to talk about these evolutions.
I want to talk about the 3 evolutions. You got one that's fiery, one that's water, and kind of like a mermaid dog, and one that's like a spiky lightning freak.
And they're all awesome.
Do you have a favorite?
Flareon.
Okay, Ryan, do you have a favorite?
I'd say Vaporeon.
Oh, shit, then I just have to pick Jolteon.
Yes, you do. It's required.
I would probably go with Vaporeon too, though, just because of how it looks. Like, it's like a monstrous kind of cool design.
I don't know
how to pick one, but yeah.
I can make a really disgusting joke about Vaporeon that's really overdone, but I'm going to decide not to.
I am incapable of changing your mind.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
At all? Graham?
I'm intentionally leaving a bunch of white noise here because I think it would be funnier if you just pause. I actually don't know what you're talking about. Something with wetness? I'm trying to be gross.
There's a whole gross copy pasta. It's probably
there's
a
people who want to fuck Vaporeon.
Exactly. There's a whole copy pasta about how Vaporeon is the most compatible for male Pokemon female, or male human female Pokemon breeding. And it's gross.
Oh, really?
That
like
sounds
of
gross.
all Pokemon?
Apparently.
I had a few other picks. I mean,
yeah, you would think the human-like Pokemon would be the number ones, but no, it's Vaporeon.
Not Mr.
Hey, I think I know a few people that could get it on with Machop.
The whole Machop line.
Machamp's got 4 arms. He can really throw you around, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Machamp could be in the Queen's interview podcast.
Huh?
I watched Machamp versus Goro from Mortal Kombat. Guess who won?
Machamp.
Well, probably Goro. You like ripped out his spine or something.
It was Machamp.
Hell yeah!
Whoa! What a twist!
No, apparently he can like punch like as strong as an asteroid or something stupid like that when he gets super mad. I don't know.
I love dumb comic book stuff like that.
Yeah, because you're gonna get some cartoon story, but like, well, we have this episode of that time that a Machamp like punched the moon or something, and then suddenly now he's just completely over the top.
I'm glad we established our 3 favorites. Misty has a clear favorite. She wants a Vaporeon. Says if you really want something, just go for it. She's ready to steal the Eevee.
Yeah, was he referring to like that had to be an innuendo? Did she have like a crush on Brock or something?
Like, are you saying that Misty is an apologist and a perpetrator of rape culture in America?
I'm sorry, how did we get here?
Well, because Graham used a quote from the episode where he said, if you really want something, you have to try and get it or go for it. Right? So I thought she was, when I saw that in the video, I thought she was trying to give Brock a tip to like ask her out or something.
Oh, they're like little kids. Misty's 10 years old.
Yeah, I don't think that's what they were going for.
Yeah, I know, but like sometimes they put adult jokes, so I was looking for that in Pokemon. I totally think it was adult jokes.
There are lots of adult jokes. Yeah, and I think there's one in the next episode, actually, that's kind of, I don't remember now. But they're definitely adult jokes. But I don't think that one was. Just Misty's kind of skewed morality.
So you
sometimes.
think that line was stated with no implication about a relationship?
I think she was talking about stealing.
Yeah, she just wants a Vaporeon.
Yeah.
Really? So there was no double meaning to that. Wow.
I think it's quite surface level.
I think it's surface level,
really?
too.
It even did like a little thing on her face, you know, like the anime.
Because she just loves water Pokemon.
Oh, wow. You guys are full blown on the Pokemon. You guys think it's just so pristine and innocent. Wow.
Wait, whose podcast is this? I feel like you're interviewing us right now.
Oh, sorry. I was just commenting on my thoughts.
I'm just joking.
When she said that, I literally twisted my head. I was like, okay.
Damn, Misty.
Yeah. So anyway.
Stealing 10-year-old.
The gang stumble across a garden party at this address on the Eevee's tag with a bunch of rich folk and a bunch of Pokemon that evolve with stones only. They're having an evolution party.
Yeah, this is like a big weird rich people thing in this world where instead of getting together and I don't know what rich people do in real life, just drink cocktails, hunt humans for sport, whatever.
They mostly Yeah, I think it was pretty accurate. They pretty much just try and act like they're better than everybody.
Yeah. By forcing evolution on their Pokemon. Non-consensual evolution.
So Team Rocket are spying. They want to capture all of these evolved Pokemon. Surprise, Team Rocket is spying with their binoculars. And then we go back to the party. We see these three guys with really weird hair. And
these dudes are a lot.
Oh, wow.
They thank the gang for finding Eevee, which is apparently the star of the show.
Yeah, so one's red, one's yellow or orange, and one's blue, and they are all wearing these like leotards, and they have like, again with the accents in this show, they have these like weird, vaguely East Coast accents. I don't even know what they're going for.
Yeah, they're weird.
They were full blown. They were full blown on their Pokemon.
Yeah, have you ever met guys like this in real life?
They looked more like the Pokemon, and the Pokemon were the trainers.
That's kind of true. Yeah. Who's training who?
Their hair are all designed after the Pokemon they have, which are Flareon, Vaporeon, and Jolteon. So each of them is designed after one. Their names are Rainer, Pyro, and Sparky.
Wow. Are they given names in the episode?
I missed that. I noted two of them are, I think, Rainer and Pyro are mentioned by name. I don't remember if Sparky is mentioned by name, but that is his name. And
we can also just guess that's his name too, right?
Yeah. And fun fact about these three, in Pokemon Go, if you name an Eevee Rainer, Pyro, or Sparky, it will evolve into its respective evolution.
Oh, wow.
Guaranteed.
Oh,
wow. Only once, though. You can only use that trick once. But that's
good. I think
that's where that little Easter egg came from.
I collected a few Eevees on Pokemon Go.
There you go. Nice. This is the origin. These three fine gentlemen. And their leotards.
They call in little Mikey, their little brother Mikey, and the Eevee is his. And he seems quite upset with the gang for finding and bringing Eevee back to the party.
Yeah, poor Mikey. Really, we know there's a mystery here right away, because he's kind of like, well, why'd you bring Eevee back?
Yeah, he's upset about it. And we start to understand why pretty soon, because the three brothers start hounding Mikey about evolving his Eevee. But Mikey doesn't care about battling. He just wants to be with his Eevee, but his three brothers are pressuring him into deciding what to evolve Eevee into.
Yeah, so these brothers are so obsessed with battling. They're like weird car bros. who just like are trying to push their hobby on Mikey. Mikey's like, I like singing or something.
And then they do like a little commercial to advertise each evolution, which I loved.
Right.
Like, this is Jolteon.
Cool.
It's fast and shoots lightning and blah, blah, blah. I didn't write any of them down.
It sprays needles from its fur.
They really sold me on Vaporeon, though. There just basically turns into water.
Yeah.
Vaporeon melts into the water.
Yeah, Vaporeon.
Like literally? That's
Vaporeon in Pokemon lore can camouflage itself into the water.
So is it just camouflage, or does it actually turn into water?
I think it is just camouflage.
I think it becomes water.
Like the guy from X-Men that had his mutation was like turned into water and he died.
There was a Spider-Man villain like that too.
Yeah, but usually your mutation shouldn't just like straight up kill you. But yeah.
Oh, it just killed him?
No, for real. He was like being I don't know, experimented on, and then he just started like transforming into water, and then he just like poured down the drain and he was gone.
Oh, from one of the original X-Men movies?
Well, yeah, I think they were trying to artificially create a mutant is what they were trying to do. So it didn't work very good. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so basically Vaporeon can do that and then still reform if she can actually turn into water, which is pretty dope.
That's pretty badass stuff.
According to Pokemon Yellow, Dex entry, its cell structure is similar to water molecules. It will melt away and become invisible in water.
Wow. Said melt.
Yo.
That's pretty intense. So it should be straight up immune to water attacks, but I bet it's not.
It gets water absorb as an ability.
Yeah, I know, but like, water.
So yeah, kind of. Come Gen 3.
Does that make it heal?
Yeah, it absorbs water.
Wow.
Hence water absorb.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And then finally, Flareon. I don't remember exactly how they word it, but they do mention its internal fire sac, so it makes flames. I could see that being like poached by criminals. Everyone's after the fire sac. It's like, power your house with the Flareon fire sac. It's like a high efficiency furnace. Then they get outlawed in most countries.
Man. Yeah, it's a shame. Flareon's my favorite, but it has consistently for a long time been one of, if not the worst evolution from a gameplay perspective, unfortunately.
Yeah, fire sac just ain't enough, eh?
Yeah.
Like, what is a fire sac? It's like a ball sack, right? But like a flame.
I did watch a documentary on how dragons could have existed and breathed fire, and they explained biologically how that could be possible.
Oh, nice. What's the documentary called?
Bogus dragon fire-breathing documentary.
On Netflix?
I don't know. I watched it in the 90s, man. You can see anything in the 90s.
That's true.
We cite our sources here on To Kill A Delibird.
Sorry about that. I make up half of mine.
Citing our sources, the 90s. So Team Rocket's busting in, right?
Yeah, they threw the party for Mikey and his Eevee. They even tell Ash that you're gonna evolve your Pikachu someday, aren't you? And they're like, no, fuck you.
I remember that being a huge theme. That Pikachu's not gonna evolve. That was like a huge theme, right?
Yeah, it's a huge theme. Yeah, we covered that episode previously, and this is really part 2 of that theme of like being true to yourself and that sort of thing, and what evolution means. Like, is it always a consensual art? And these 3 Eevee brothers, man, they sound like drug dealers. They're like, do you need a stone? Do you need a stone? We got stones. Take a stone. It's great, man. Everybody's doing it. Grab a stone.
We need to cook, Rainer.
Well, they're totally full blown, as I like to say. Full blown, you know.
Full blown.
So then we learn about a magazine that they have. It's called Pokemon Friend. Brock is like super shocked about this. He's like, oh my god, you have the latest issue of Pokemon Friend? I'm like, yeah, we used it to plan the party. What?
Yeah, that was weird.
What?
If this is a common issue, is it a common magazine? Is it weird that they have the latest issue? Yeah, I don't get that at all. Or is that just supposed to show that they're like elite and rich? Like, wow, they can even buy magazines.
They have a magazine subscription.
Probably establishing how cool and superior they are.
Yeah, through magazine subscriptions.
Right.
So they pressure
That's 90s
Brock.
clout.
They pressure Brock and Ash into evolving their Pokemon. They give them a Thunderstone, and they give Brock a Firestone to evolve Vulpix. And they're like, no, we like our Pokemon just the way they are. Never.
Or isn't it just they want to evolve the old-fashioned way, like through hard work and earning it or something?
Well, when it comes to Pikachu and Vulpix, no amount of hard work is going to do it. It has to be a stone.
Yeah, they only evolve through stone, so it is about choice in this sense. Yeah.
Huh, that's interesting.
But neither of them want to.
Pikachu has to have a stone to evolve.
Yep.
Whoa. What about Magikarp?
No, Magikarp evolves level 20.
Magikarp evolves when James kicks him.
That too.
But I heard there was like a thing if you level up your Magikarp to like a higher level and then evolve it, it would have like a better power or something.
It might learn other moves later on, but I'm not sure. Because
I know people used to tell you, no, wait to evolve your Magikarp and it's going to be better. And it was so hard because leveling up a Magikarp sucks. So
with some Pokemon, there's trade-offs between, because you can delay an evolution even if it's happening organically. Yeah. And with some Pokemon, there's trade-offs to doing that. Like they might learn moves at different levels or something.
I heard Magikarp to Gyarados was like the big one. Like it had like
that's basically the trade-off is that if you don't evolve a Pokemon immediately, it'll learn its new moves sooner than its evolution would. But looking back at Magikarp, at least in Gen 1, no, it doesn't learn anything past level 15. So if you were playing Gen
Kellan, 1... I mean, there would be a bonus for it to be Gyarados. At like,
it wouldn't. You were lied to. I'm sorry.
I was lied to. Okay, well.
Kellan and I were talking at some point today, I think, about these like playground cheats and myths that would happen with video games. Like that, I feel like that went
that might have been one. So Pokemon. Somebody probably just told me to do that so I could like level my Magikarp to like level 60.
Yeah, to make you stuck with the Magikarp for longer.
Yeah.
It's because Pokemon knowledge was playground clout. So people would make shit up. They would be like, "Oh, I got a Mew. My brother got me a Mew.
He's under the trunk.
My brother's hardcore."
Okay, but like, how could like? So have you actually leveled a Magikarp to like say level 60?
No. But
so how can you be so sure that it didn't actually give Gyarados a
because you just looked it up.
Because that's not how the game works.
Yeah, but it could have been an Easter egg though.
No, it wasn't. We would know about that by now.
That is not an Easter egg. That's a mechanical thing.
Yeah,
that's the math, boy.
Okay, well, so you looked it up. You just know. Okay.
Shout us out in the comments if you know anything about Gyarados buffing up. We do like when people correct our mistakes. I actually do. Any engagement
I don't know.
Is
like
good.
I said, I make up half of my sources. So.
I like this idea of people come on the podcast and just spout random facts at us and like make me have to try and defend myself with shit that I obviously know.
I like that too. You're like the king nerd. And people are trying to dethrone you.
No, you can't evolve Dragonite into Yoshi. What are you talking about?
Kirby is not a Pokemon. My wife thought that Kirby was a Pokemon. Did you know that?
A lot of people confuse Kirby and Jigglypuff.
Like a Pokemon.
It looks like a Pokemon, yeah. So
anyway,
let's get back to the episode. Evolution is what Pokemon is all about. That's what these aggressive New York leotard freaks think. Misty, however, she went from wanting to steal Eevee to actually being a pretty good force, pretty benevolent force in this episode. She's sharing food with Mikey and Eevee and really having a heart-to-heart with him about, what he wants. And we're learning that he's feeling like he's forced, that Eevee's forced to evolve. But he has this connection with Eevee as an Eevee and doesn't necessarily want that. And Pikachu and Eevee themselves have a discussion, which is really cute. Pikachu, having gone through this, kind of like relays potentially what was sort of traumatic with Pikachu, but also like then enforces Pikachu's decision to the Eevee. Like, look, validates that what the Eevee's feeling is normal.
You missed the best part of this whole scene, though.
Oh, what's that?
When Misty tries to give Mikey food, and Psyduck comes out and takes a sandwich, and she clonks him on the head.
Oh shit! I did miss
Classic
that. I love
Psyduck.
Yeah.
Classic.
So what I noticed is Misty actually like punched like 5 people throughout these 2 episodes.
Yeah, she physically abuses
she literally
quite a lot.
Like clobbers like 4 people, and I liked thinking about it as like as she's stands in relation to the Rocket female. She like is physical and smacks people too, but when she does it, it's like clearly like evil. And then when Misty does it, it's just like playful and funny. I thought that was interesting.
Oh, that is interesting. Yeah, and what is the line?
I know, so I was wondering what the line is. Like the rocket female was just like so evil and basically did the exact same thing that Misty was doing. That poor Psyduck, man.
And all women, of course, in a 90s cartoon are overly emotional, right? And can't control themselves.
So yeah, Misty has that heart-to-heart with Mikey about it all. He reveals that he just left Eevee out in the forest for a day. That's why he was leashed up and had food and water. He just wanted to get Eevee away for the day so that he could avoid this whole evolution schism, whatnot. And then she, like, mom talks to him about how, like, you can't do that. You can't run away from your problems, you little shit.
Yeah, she just tells him that that's not going to fix anything, and ultimately, you're going to have to tackle it head on.
And Brock and Ash are still trying to get through to the three brothers, but that maybe they're wrong, maybe they don't know everything, but they're still pressuring Mikey into evolving Eevee. Misty encourages him. Of course we know
everything. Okay. Look at our leotards.
Can I ask sweet? A question, though?
Of course.
Why doesn't Pikachu evolve? What was the reason?
He just doesn't want to.
I compared him to Anne of Green Gables, and that when she came to the adopted home, you know, they wanted a son and they wanted to push her into different roles, and she wanted to be herself and forge her own path. And I think that is what Pikachu was going through. The evolution is like a social construct, also a social expectation. And Pikachu is saying, I like myself the way I am right now.
Yeah, Misty encourages him to do what's in his heart and tell the brothers that he doesn't want to evolve Eevee. And just as he's about to do it, Team Rocket flies in because we can't have any good things in this show. We can't let a story like wrap up without them.
Of course. And I like, you know, they start the typical chat, and then this gets hilarious. So they've been talking earlier about not only wanting to steal Pokemon, but wanting to steal the stones and wanting to steal food. And midway through their chat, they just start chowing down on lobsters.
Well, I thought they did a great job. The smoke came, and they acted all aloof, and suddenly everything was gone. I was like, yo, that wasn't the Team Rocket I remember. They were extremely competent there. How did they do that?
It worked for a while.
Yeah,
this is actually the furthest they get with a scheme in the show so far.
Oh, wow.
But they didn't just steal the Pokemon and the stones. They also did steal all the food. And that's something one of the brothers is really upset about. They're like, they took the Pokemon, they took the stones, they took the food.
These were Atlantic lobsters shipped in.
But they took everything except Psyduck.
Psyduck didn't
and they also didn't take Pidgeot.
Well, so Pidgeot was in the Pokeball. They didn't take any Pokemon in Pokeballs, I think. They just took Pokemon that were out and about.
Yeah, because Pidgeot came out, blew all the smoke away, and then everything was gone.
Ash has Pidgeotto puncture the balloon that's flying off with all the Pokemon and everything, and it brings it down, but there's nothing in it. It was a ruse.
Yeah, that's two things Team Rocket did pretty well.
Sleight of hand, eh?
Yeah, they're actually in a Jeep, and Team Rocket has the sickest vehicles, man. It's like when they have like a motorcycle or like the hang gliders.
The
like
Kangaskhan mech.
The Kangaskhan mech, that was hecka cool. Now their Jeep is just, so like a fire truck red.
Yeah, and they've got all of the Pokemon in cages. They're trailing behind, and we see Horsey leaving a little trail of ink. Clever Horsey. We love Horsey.
Good old Horsey. This is also the first time we've seen Horsey in a long time. Is that correct?
Since its initial episode, yeah.
So that's like 20 episodes.
Yeah, it's been a while. So Team Rocket at some lake or something, and they're eating all the food, and they're enjoying their victory meal, and they're gonna evolve Eevee into something evil, but they can't decide on which one to evolve Eevee into. One of them thinks Jolteon, one thinks Vaporeon, one thinks Flareon. So they decide what they're gonna do. Brilliant. They're going to use all 3 stones at one time, and that'll definitely make it turn into something really evil.
Now, I read that lore speculation is that using multiple stones at the same time would result in, like, an accident.
Probably. It probably is result in some sort of genetic mutation.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
But as far as we know, this hasn't actually been explored by something
I wanted to see them try it, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Frank and Eevee. Like, they give birth to a new evolution that's, like, distorted and corrupt.
Well, there were, like, new evolutions later, right?
There's 8 now.
Right, yeah.
But, like, I mean, like, a really disgusting one. like a grafted limbs kind of one.
It's gotta be something that represents trying too hard and being horrible.
Oh, like when a celebrity has really weird looking Botox.
Yeah. Or just
you're trying to preserve something that doesn't exist.
Or just Rocket's own motivations of like being the champions of the world, but being so horrible at it. Probably because they're trying too hard, right? I thought from this movie, they actually looked like they could be competent people if they weren't just so moronic. Because clearly they have the ability to do this amazing sleight of hand.
Well, we've noted some careers they've masqueraded as in the past that they could definitely make a living off of if they decided they didn't want to be criminals anymore. Like, they could be beauty salon owners.
Because, like, at a certain point, if you're so good at being a criminal, why not just, like, be a normal person who...
Put that to something useful,
yeah.
Well, so there was an episode we reviewed where they own a beauty salon, and their scheme that episode doesn't even have to do with stealing Pokemon. Their scheme is literally just capitalism. They're running a successful business.
Oh, wow, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like how I used to cheat for exams, like the night before I would actually just read my notes.
Yeah, great cheating.
Yeah.
Scummy. So before they can get the stones to evolve Eevee, the gang intercepts them again. Ash tries to have Squirtle do a water gun, but Psyduck interrupts them again. Good old Psyduck. We love Psyduck. He tries a little water gun, but it doesn't do anything. He shoots it like a foot. Just waters the grass a little bit.
Psyduck's antics are so good, you'd think they would just stop the battle and have a laugh, and then all go off and have ice cream or something.
Okay, well, can I ask something about Psyduck? This is going to sound... I already know what you guys are going to say. You're going to be like, hell no, but does Psyduck have a crush on Misty?
I don't think so.
Damn, guys. I don't know, man. Sexual. That's what I thought, dude. I thought Psyduck had a thing for Misty, but okay.
Oh, well, you know what? Okay, I can see where you're going with this. Because is it at this point where it's a little later where it might be the next episode where she smacks him and then he like blushes.
That's the next episode.
Yeah. He literally blushed. I was like, what was that blush? And then he keeps coming out at the wrong time. I think it's like he's trying to like win her favor or get her attention.
He is. I wouldn't call it romantic.
Oh, okay.
He is trying to win her favor as a pet though.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, I guess I thought this because I saw him blush that one time. I wasn't sure what he was blushing at. I think he's deeper than he seems. He seems like such a doofus, but I think he's trying to do something, man.
I think he's just a doofus.
No, he sort of is. I think that he's... have you ever heard of the Jar Jar Binks as a Sith Lord conspiracy theory? Yeah. All right. So for those of you in the audience who don't know this, look that up on YouTube. There's very long explanations of this conspiracy theory that George Lucas had intended for Jar Jar Binks in The Phantom Menace to actually be a Sith Lord.
Yeah,
he was just pretending to be the fool. I could see that with Psyduck. And he does have explosive parts, but when Psyduck really shows up, it's more of a Gohan sort of situation where he's got that like latent potential.
He like
kind
has
of thing.
His moments. He's not just...
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So when Psyduck's headache reaches a kind of a terminal level, like when it hits the really extreme levels, he unleashes these like ultimate psychic powers.
Oh, man, that sounds epic, dude.
Yeah.
Legendary.
Misty calls Jessie an old hag here, which makes Jessie so pissed.
Yeah, she shows off her own fire sack and gets the flames going.
Right, and this was interesting because I remember that insult, right? But then later at the end, Ash actually told Misty that she could be his brother or something, and then she got upset about that and then punched somebody.
And they punched Ash. She likes to punch Ash.
Yeah.
She likes to punch Ash the most.
Yeah. So they start another battle, surprise, as per usual. Ash and Misty are gonna fight, but the three brothers jump in. It's their brothers Eevee in danger. They're gonna save Eevee. Before this, the gang got all the other Pokemon free by this point.
Nice.
So Jolteon dodges a Poison Sting, Pin Missiles, Arbok. Vaporeon protects itself from a sludge from wheezing with its acid armor, disappearing into the water, and then goes for some tackle move.
Yeah, that was sick. That was sick.
Then Team Rocket runs away. Flareon uses Fire Spin to trap them in, but Team Rocket's not going to give up. They still got some fight left in them for some reason.
Yeah, and then Misty takes it into her own hands, grabs Horsey, and just sprays Jessie in the face with Horsey.
Like a fucking squirt bottle.
She's really got it for Jessie right now. She's like, fuck you old bitch.
Old hag, down. So personal.
And that makes them let go of Eevee. They drop Eevee, and Pikachu gives them a good shock. They're still not going to give up, though.
Well, at that point, I was shocked that Pokemon's attack the humans. I didn't even know that was a thing.
It happens every episode.
Yeah, they actually, people go through situations every single episode that would kill any non-cartoonified human.
Right. I just...
Shocked, burnt,
It's
drowned.
something I just didn't notice, because, I thought that for some reason Pokemon, couldn't affect humans, because that's when, from the movie, when Mewtwo turned Ash into stone, that super epic sad thing.
Oh, yeah, spoilers.
Oh, you might want to add a spoiler before there, but I assumed everybody's seen that.
It's okay.
But anyways, I thought that was super unique because I thought Pokemon couldn't use their powers on humans for some reason. But okay, maybe not.
No, they can't. They just tend not to. But Team Rocket gets the brunt of most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And they're also the most cartoonish, so they just Looney Tunes the attacks out of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Mikey pulls himself together. He's going to take on Team Rocket with his Eevee. In the last bit, he has Eevee use Takedown, and then before Takedown connects, he tells Eevee to use a Rage Tackle attack. That's not a thing. It's Rage or it's Tackle. It's not Rage Tackle.
Well, he names 3 attacks. He's Takedown, Rage, Tackle.
He switches his move twice. No wonder he's not a trainer yet. He doesn't know shit.
Yeah, what a shit trainer.
Oh, man.
We do know Mikey hasn't been interested in battling at all, so maybe this is realistic.
So what move did Eevee choose then?
Well, he told Eevee to use Rage Tackle attack, and that's what Eevee hit them with. But Rage Tackle is not a thing. Move. It would just be Tackle.
I can just tackle.
So Eevee just used Tackle.
Yeah, and somehow that sent them blasting off again.
Well, I think this was really a situation of when somebody else is trying to open a jar of pickles for a long time and they're not getting anywhere, and then someone else tries and it's wow, you loosened it. It's kind of like that. I think the brothers mostly kicked the shit out of the Weezing and the Arbok, and then the Eevee finished them off.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So Mikey finally tells the guys he is not going to evolve Eevee. He's going to be an Eevee trainer. And this is the point where I realized, the brothers have hair that looks like they're evolutions. So does Mikey. Mikey's hair looks like the little furl around Eevee's neck.
Yeah, that should have been a sign.
Yeah.
They're not very self-aware.
Wow.
Yeah, the brothers are surprisingly understanding. They're you just should have told us that.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
You were being such dicks about it.
They changed their tune so quickly.
Wow. They had to make the, Misty's recommendation go well because kids might actually listen to Misty. Oh, you just need to have to tell them how you feel and then everything will be good.
And it'll be wrapped up in a minute.
So they go back to the party to celebrate. Mikey gives Misty a flower to thank her. It's very wholesome, very sweet.
Yep, friends forever.
And then Misty wonders what it's like to have brothers, and Ash tells him, well, you could pass for my brother. And she hits him. And then Brock hits with the grasshopper have little sense but big mouth. Which was not a line I was expecting, but I was here for it.
There was so much wisdom packed into this episode, I think. I was wondering, is every episode like this just
I think you pull more wisdom out of episodes, and I'm glad to have you on board because of that. It actually makes some of my job quite easy.
It literally, I just saw so many things in this episode.
I think we've discussed themes quite a bit. I will do, so at the end of every episode, Ryan, I do a quick literary hour, we call it, which is actually just 30 seconds, comparing it to literature. So this definitely is part 2 of the themes we saw in the Lieutenant Surge episode with Pikachu choosing not to be evolved. It's all about courage to follow your own path. Past I brought up Anne of Green Gables. I think the movie Legally Blonde is actually applicable here, where lawyer Elle Woods goes to Harvard and does not succumb to the pressures to be what the other students think of is the standard Harvard student. She does it her own way, forges a path. I think that's kind of similar. I also like to think of the Eevees as something with infinite potential in itself and a metaphor for how we, as we grow up, we choose to be different things and leave behind the things we aren't, which is like Robert Frost's classic poem, The Road Not Taken, all about thinking and contemplating about the choices we don't make as much as the choices that we do. Anything to add?
Well, now that you said that, I guess I've been thinking about some of the EVs that I caught in my time on Pokemon Go, and I can say I had a really nice one time, and I just didn't want to evolve it. And I think that the reason
Typical Mikey.
The reason why I didn't want to evolve it is because no matter which evolution I chose, you then have a lost opportunity of all the other things that it could have been, right? But if you leave it as Eevee, then there's still a possibility that it can be all of them. So in some sense, the Eevee pre-evolution is all of them. Whereas if you evolve into another one, then it's for sure necessarily can never be any of the other ones.
Like I said, Schrodinger's Eevee.
Yeah, something like
So
that.
true.
So if your Eevee was perfect, like it had perfect stats, and then if you evolved it into one of your favorite ones, it's not going to have the perfect stats anymore. You'll probably have very good stats, but I think I would just prefer to keep it as Eevee, right?
No, it'll still have its perfect stats.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's how individual values work. Yeah.
A Pokemon mathematician disproving things again.
No, but then I think my reason for not evolving it was still relevant, right?
Because, I mean, you don't want to evolve them.
They are different. They have different moves and stuff. So.
Yeah. But perfect stats are perfect stats. Evolving it doesn't change that.
Right.
So
let's get to our. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kellan.
We missed the best part of the episode.
What?
You jumped to the literary too fast. Psyduck sets up a photo timer on a camera, and he goes to run into the picture, and he trips and falls.
Oh,
what? It's the best part of the episode.
Poor Psyduck.
Classic Psyduck. All right, let's rate it. That.
So at the end of every episode, we do the 4-pour, the plastic ping pong pitcher of objective ratings, where we draw 2 randomly selected categories. We will rank the episode based on those categories. These are random. We do not know which ones are selected ahead of time. Let's hear what we're ranking them on, Kellan.
First category for the Battling Eevee Brothers will be anime mom energy. I think that's applicable, very applicable, because of Misty's talk with Mikey.
Wow.
She's not a good anime mommy, if you know what I mean.
Well, she has that. It's a very mom talk.
It's a mom talk.
Mom talk, yeah.
It's a mom talk. As a proponent of the anime moms, though, that isn't what I am going for. Talk about anime MILFs.
Oh,
Ryan.
God.
Oh. Dude, Ash's mom, Ash is like 10 years old. So that means Ash's mom is like 30. Okay. And maybe, as a kid, you're like, oh, she's the mom. But now watching it, I'm like,
oh, she's the mummy.
Oh, she's the mummy.
I don't recall Ash's mom at all.
Oh, she's hot.
Ooh. Better
and
than
she
Nurse
packs
Joy.
Clean underwear.
Well, I'm giving it a 7.
2.
Ryan,
so you're asking me to rate this.
Rate the anime
mom energy of the episode.
Anime mom energy. Yeah, I'm gonna go with like 4. It was kind of more like a big sister wisdom or something. But like I felt like her story or her wisdom was a little bit naive, and it required a little bit of a contrived plot line to make the 3 brothers all of a sudden just like, oh yeah, that's okay, that's great. And they're just super understanding for like no apparent reason. Especially given how like they're just full blown and obsessed about being the best possible I don't know, bonehead.
Yeah, they flipped like pancakes.
Oh yeah, they flipped like a complete pancake, right? I think it was contrived, but okay.
Well, 7, 2, and 4 average for 4.33. Repeating, of course.
Repeating, of course.
Of course.
And category number 2 will be the variety of Pokemon.
Oh, strong.
Not
we
bad.
see a lot of Pokemon. We see like there's like a bunch of random Pokemon in it too. Like
stone evolution except for Arcanine.
10. That's a peak variety episode.
I mean, there are moments in Pokemon where I've seen more Pokemon, so I'll give it a 9. I wouldn't say it's like a 10 as in the paradigm. I would say 9 as in like as good as it's gonna get.
Yeah, I was thinking 8 because there's a lot shown, but there are still not a lot featured. There's a good amount featured, but the rest of them are just in the background still. So
8, 9, 10, that's a 9.
That's 9, which is...
9 average with 4.3 repeating is...
Oh, yeah, that's what I do. I got very confused for some reason on my spreadsheet. Forgot that this was all the same episode. 6.66 repeating.
Repeating, of course.
So it's evil. It's an evil episode, 666.
Wow.
Oh, number of the Pokemon.
All right, let's move into the second episode of today. It is Wake Up, Snorlax.
Yeah, here we go. Snorlax, your boy, coming at you. What an episode this is.
Snorlax would be a gangster, wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised he doesn't wear a fedora, to be honest.
I could see him pulling off chains, some bling.
Oh, yeah.
And rings. Oh, my God.
Thug Life compilation Snorlax.
Thug Life Snorlax. Let's see it.
Get the fan art. I'm writing it down. So, we open this episode, the gang are on a path again, as usual, just some random-ass road. The narrator says, ever vigilant Pikachu keeps a watch out for trouble, but he's asleep. Adorable Pikachu.
Yeah, he's just sleeping on the backpack.
And they come across some old hippie man sitting on a rock. And I love this guy. This guy's great.
Yeah, so they find Tommy Chong sitting on a rock, playing music, saying groovy.
Groovy. And the flute music wakes Pikachu up, which, remember that? Foreshadowing. That's foreshadowing, baby.
And our hippie's flute is pretty iconic looking. We'll find out later it's called a poke flute, but it's basically a flute with a Pokeball on it. I don't know. It has the symbol of a Pokeball.
Mm-hmm. He asks for food now that they've listened to his music. So he's also a scammer.
Man.
He's a scammer.
Not even.
He's just an artist, man. How dare you use a label like that, man?
But they don't have any food, so he shoos them away.
Not even a cookie? Cookie? We don't even have crumbs.
I like that line. Not even a cookie.
They're all starving, but there's a town up ahead. They're going to go to that town, and they go back to the old man. Team Rocket's also met the guy. He tries to get food out of them, too.
Yeah, Meowth's like, you should be begging for music lessons.
Hey-oh. Got him.
Wow. Just burning. Bad vibes, man. Bad vibes.
In the town, the gang stops at a store that just has bread on it. So I believe the store is called Bread. There is no bread at Bread.
There's a barbecue place I've been to called Meat.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of has similar energy.
Beautiful. Do they have meat? Because Bread doesn't have bread. Did Meat have meat?
Yeah, every time I've been there, they've had meat.
That's good. That's good.
If they didn't, that'd be wild.
Because Bread not having bread kind of defeats the purpose of bread. There's also no vegetables. There's no ingredients. Nothing in town. The entire town is completely wiped out of food. And some guy with a cane wanders up to the gang. We learn that this is the mayor. He takes him back to his house to eat, where he's hoarding all the bread, apparently.
Of course, the mayor has all the bread, while all the French chefs in town suffer.
He's like, the river dried up a while ago, and we don't have any food. Oh, don't worry. You guys can keep eating. We have lots of reserves in our basement or whatever. It's like,
the timing of this all is a little bit weird. So we find out it's been 2 weeks that the river has been clogged for. Wow. So how exactly that affects their food situation is kind of unclear. You think it would affect their water situation quicker than their food situation.
Well, it killed the crops. They didn't have any water for the crops. But yeah, I don't know how that kills the food situation in 2 weeks.
Turning around food that quickly, unless it's just it was like harvest season. I don't know. I don't quite get it. But, whatever.
So Brock has this beautiful, fantastic idea that no one has thought of yet. They're going to go find what the problem is.
Yeah, Brock's such a good detective. He's like, you can't grow anything without water. So true, Brock.
You can't trust the adults in this show to do anything. The river's been dried up for 2 weeks and no one decided to go figure out what the issue is.
Well, I like what the mayor said. What did he say? Do you guys know? He said that nobody ventures out there.
Up the river. No one goes up the river. It's too dangerous.
Yeah, like there's something dangerous about it. It's like, ooh, that sounds scary. We should go.
He made it sound like people go up and never return.
Come back.
Yeah, I know. Right? Like, what happens?
I was expecting something far darker.
I know. I was like, is everybody getting eaten by his Snorlax or what?
Yeah, he wakes up, eats them, and goes back to sleep.
So they go up the river. They go up the river, It leads them to a bunch of thorns, a very, very thick thicket of thorns. And they have the Pokemon cut down the vines. This is my favorite when Bulbasaur uses Razor Leaf, because it's just a still image of Bulbasaur with leaves spinning around him. He doesn't do anything. He just sits there.
Paradise.
Yeah.
It was a lot less intense than the Jolteon attack.
Mm-hmm. And Psyduck does his thing, of course.
I think they spent both episodes' budget on that ad for the three evolutions.
Oh yeah, maybe. Well, I thought it was pretty ridiculous that they were trying to crawl through the thorns when they could have gotten their Pokemon to help, because they get their Pokemon to do everything for them, but they instead just tried to crawl through there and then, we should use our Pokemon to help.
Maybe have, Charmander burn them down.
And start a forest fire and destroy the whole city.
Well, you got Squirtle there to put it out. And Starmie and Staryu and Horsey. You got all kinds of shit.
Oh, now I'm realizing that in real, that in Canada, if we had Pokemon, there would be Charmander bans or fire Pokemon bans.
Oh yeah,
fire severity rating is way too high these days. Your fire Pokemon are illegal, and then people would protest. These are my freedoms. This is my fire Pokemon. I can do what I want. You're burning down the town.
You're taking away my rights.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
They find on the other side of the thorns, there is a large Snorlax sleeping in the middle of the river.
So good.
Snorlax is this big fat thing that sleeps all the time.
He's kind of like a bear. I know you said I'm not supposed to compare them to animals, but he's kind of like a bear, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I think they took hibernation to extreme proportions, right?
It's definitely something to an extreme proportion.
He's known as the sleepy Pokemon. He wakes only to eat. He's over 1,000 pounds.
1,000 pounds.
Heaviest species of Pokemon. He probably isn't anymore, right?
No, it was in Gen 1.
But yeah, some of those legendary Pokemon are big as a mountain, aren't they?
I'm waiting for Kellan to answer, because I would ask the same question. I think they're big, but I don't know.
So yeah, Snorlax was the heaviest Pokemon in Generation 1. At 1,014 pounds. These days, it's Celesteela and Cosmoem and Primal Groudon, all tied at 2,204.
That's heavy.
Snorlax is still the 29th heaviest Pokemon in existence.
He's still the heaviest to me.
Still the heaviest in our hearts.
Yeah.
So they realize what's going on here. The Snorlax is blocking the stream. What are they going to do? Let's try to wake him up. First, they try shaking him. Then they try using a megaphone. Then they try to move it. None of this is working. Can they capture it? The Pokeball just bounces off its chubby belly.
Yeah. I was like, that's not how I remember it. I remember he went into the Pokeball and then just kept popping out.
Yeah, when you fought him? Yeah definitely.
And then Team Rocket are there, and I don't even know what they were doing with this. They had a camera, and they were doing some nature documentary thing. I don't know.
Yeah, they were trying to be inconspicuous by being reporters. We're not Team Rocket, we're reporters. We're on the case.
They weren't even in outfits or anything, though. They were just in their regular clothes.
And Ash just what are you doing? This is stupid. We're trying to wake up the Snorlax.
And they do their thing, their motto. And yeah, Ash is your routine's so boring, it's going to put Snorlax into a deeper sleep. But then James communicates to Meowth and the Balloon. They're R1 to R0, R1 to R0. Meowth's R0 to R1, plan fucking Ultra Deluxe Balloon Bang Bang as I go.
Is that actually what they called it?
Yeah,
I think so.
Ultra Deluxe Balloon Bang Bang.
Wow.
That's what the plan was.
Well, again, it was an impressive, elaborate idea that didn't work, but it could.
They have really cool gadgets.
You could imagine it would work for something.
Yeah, so their plan this time is the Ultra Deluxe Balloon Bang Bang shoots a bunch of these mechanical cable arms out of the balloon, and they're gonna try to pick up Snorlax, take Snorlax with them. And the gang is maybe this isn't a bad idea. So the gang helps Team Rocket hook Snorlax up to the machine.
Yeah, this is awesome. The gang and Team Rocket actually have a common motive this time. Although I guess Team Rocket wants to actually steal the Snorlax because it's rare.
Yeah, but getting it out of the river helps with, the people. So, yeah, it takes some. You win some, you lose some,
Yeah.
So they get the Snorlax all hooked up, and they're trying to lift it into the air with the balloon, but the cables snap. Can't lift Snorlax. Meowth goes flying off all on his own. And Ash
should have
hits
known
him.
Team Rocket would mess this up.
Yeah, got him. So they go back to trying to wake it up with an alarm clock.
I like this line here though, because like after Ash says that, they kind of Team Rocket's complaining about that, and James goes, "Nothing makes me angrier than being told the truth."
Oh yeah. They got a few funny lines here, yeah.
Oh yeah, Team Rocket's the comic relief.
And so they go back to trying to wake it up. They try the alarm clock. They try a water bucket. Nothing works. But then Jesse remembers the story of Sleeping Beauty being woken by a kiss from a noble prince. And Ash thinks that's going to work. That's a great idea.
Jesse did my job with the literary comparison. Thank you, Jesse.
So they have to figure out which of their Pokemon is the most noble.
Oh, wow.
Because only the most noble Pokemon will be able to wake up Snorlax. They settle on Horsey, but then Psyduck jumps out, kisses Snorlax on the mouth.
Yes.
Classic Snorlax.
This is good. This is a really Looney Tunes kind of kiss too, you know, where they would like pucker up and Bugs Bunny would kiss Elmer Fudd. That's kind of what we see Psyduck doing here.
And then Misty hits him. This is where Psyduck blushes.
Yeah.
Team Rocket has now dressed Meowth up in a prince outfit, a noble prince outfit.
It was impressive.
They try to force him to kiss Snorlax, and this almost works. It almost wakes Snorlax up. It looks like he gives it a nightmare.
Yeah.
It does, and that's definitely Ash's interpretation.
Yeah.
He's like, I'd look for a new mouth if
What would you do if Meowth kissed you? I'd look for a new mouth.
But like, I was wondering why it would actually be that bad. What's wrong with Meowth? Is he that despicable?
Yeah, he's just, ugly personality makes an ugly person,
I think that they stereotype them a lot, but this is a weird discussion of stereotypes because, like, I mean, Meowth should be in jail, but then he should also have good options for rehabilitation after. I think there's a good person down in Meowth, but he's done a lot of bad things he needs to answer for, too.
I don't think there's a good person down in Meowth. We've seen before that Meowth is like the truly evil one. Jesse and James just kind of do it because they need something to do.
Is the truly evil one,
That's
constantly trying to murder people and steal things.
Pikachu?
Those dead eyes. Yeah, we got a running theory that Pikachu actually has done some nefarious things. He's often the one who last knows where Team Rocket's at and leaves them in a situation where they could easily be murdered. Pikachu's a cold-blooded killer.
Wow.
Classic Pikachu. So Snorlax shifts a little bit. They find this little tag under Snorlax, like a hotel do not disturb sign.
Yeah.
It says do not disturb. And on the back it says a Poke-Flute will wake it up. And they think back to the old hippie at the beginning of the episode. He had a Poke-Flute.
Damn, so they're all scattering back to Tommy Chong. He really holds the keys to this mystery.
What's the rush, dudes?
We got time, man.
I'm surprised he went. He didn't even get a sandwich. Like,
Yeah, no shit.
Well, he's not going to go
hungry.
anywhere. He's going to wait for someone to bring him a sandwich.
What are you saying about hippies, Kellan?
Well, that's just what this guy is doing. That was his whole motive. Sit on the rock, wait for people to give him food. We learned this at the start of the episode.
Good motive.
So the gang and Team Rocket are going to fight over the hippie man. We're going to fight over Tommy Chong in the fastest battle we've had yet. Pidgeotto sends a gust attack at Arbok and sends Team Rocket flying off. That's the whole fucking thing.
that was quick and easy. I was like, good, because I didn't want to watch them argue and have a fake battle again for a long time.
And you're like, shit, we only got 2 minutes left in the episode. We gotta keep going.
Tornado attack.
Yeah, maybe the Pidgeotto just blows them all away. Okay, yeah,
Beautiful. Go.
Moving on.
Nice.
And then we go right back to the Snorlax.
Let's go look at the
chopping
Snorlax.
along.
Yeah.
Chopping along.
Teleporting.
So the old man owns this Snorlax, we learn. He just wakes it up once a month to eat, and then it falls asleep somewhere. He's been a little lazy on.
So clearly the old man doesn't have any awareness about the problem the Snorlax is creating.
Absolutely not.
And also
No.
how that's contributed to the fact that he is hungry and nobody can give him a sandwich.
Yeah, he really caused his own fate here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little too go with the flow.
Too chill, your life will go downhill.
He plays the Poke-Flute to wake up Snorlax, which is what happens in the game. Yes! That's what I've been waiting for, people.
I also like how Snorlax does like calisthenics when he wakes up. He's like stretching and
He
stuff.
does his
He's
stretches.
like lumbering.
He gets up and he walks away, but the river still ain't gonna flow because there's more thorns in the way. But then immediately we see Snorlax starting to eat the thorns. Apparently thorns are Snorlax's favorite snack. It has to eat 900 pounds of food before it go back to sleep.
Here's where we get to the adult joke. I mentioned in the last one, I thought there was an adult joke in this one. The Tommy Chong says, he's got a case of the munchies.
He got a real case of the munchies, man.
That can only refer to marijuana-induced appetite, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that this guy's stereotype was just so obvious that they didn't even need to do anything like that. I was like, oh.
They call him a hippie. They straight up call him a hippie.
Yeah. They do call him a hippie, yeah.
Snorlax eats all of the thorns. The water flows back into the town, hopefully saving the crops and allowing the town to eat once again. The day has been saved by the man who caused the problem.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a good kind of grift, eh? Roll into town, cause a problem, fix it.
Yeah.
That's how you make everybody like dependent on you and subservient to you.
Mm-hmm. Team Rocket comes across the old man again and Snorlax. It's asleep again. They still want to try to catch it, but he's going to go wake up another Snorlax. He's got like this little alarm thing. It's like, Snorlax number 7, go wake up. So it's implied that this man has at least seven Snorlax, which is kind of crazy.
So it turns out
he's all the Snorlax are holding towns hostage.
Yeah, it sounds like this guy is literally holding this town hostage. Probably has a deal with the mayor. That's probably how they're subjugating this entire population.
Whoa, shit! So you stupid kids, you didn't just solve this issue. You actually allowed this mysterious sort of situation to perpetrate.
And clearly, the mayor already knew what was up there and the reason why everything was happening. Because he was acting all...
and that's why he said, don't go.
Yeah, he's acting all shady. Like, ooh.
Oh my god, you're right.
So, this is basically a corrupt kingdom right here. He's acting all nice.
Wow, and when we dig into it even closer, the mayor and the hippie were actually roommates in college. Oh my god.
They were roommates.
They're like, we got this down, bro. I got this pokey flute. There's freaking...
You got a town?
Snorlaxes around here. We can run this. Hell yeah, we'll be set for life. I got a poke
flute. You got a town reliant on a river. Let's fucking go.
Yep.
Let's go.
So then Snorlax rolls over onto Team Rocket. They're dead. And that's the episode.
Yeah, see, they die constantly.
Yeah, I know, right?
I also want to retcon something I said earlier. I misread. I'm very, very sorry. I said that Celesteela, Cosmoem, and Primal Groudon were all 2,204.4 pounds. That is false. Only Celesteela and Cosmoem are 2,204.4 pounds. Oh my god. Only Celesteela,
math boy.
only Celesteela and Cosmoem are 2,204.4 pounds. Primal Groudon is 2,204.0 pounds. So there's a 0.4 pound difference. I apologize.
And that's 0.3 repeating, of course, right?
There's only one decimal point on this list, unfortunately.
At least I got my chicken.
All right, hit us with the literary hour.
Man, I had troubles with this one.
Sleeping Beauty?
I really did.
Tough.
Yeah, Sleeping Beauty. I mean, it's also Snow White. You know, it's the age-old tale of
man kisses an unconscious
prince, woman. Yeah, and that whole song and dance. You know, and it does have a fairy tale sort of feel to it, this episode.
A little bit, yeah.
I think there's something about the thorns. There's something about the sleepy village, and then also kind of unraveling the mystery of the Snorlax. And, you know, sleeping and waking up have a lot of themes to do in fairy tales too. I think that sleep and really the act of waking up is connected a lot to how magic is portrayed in a lot of fairy tales, that we kind of see magic coming alive, much like a slumbering Snorlax then waking up. I know classics like Lord of the Rings are kind of like this, where the mystery and the magic of Middle Earth is sort of underground, sort of sleepy, and we're uncovering it and we're kind of waking up together on it. And I see that kind of themes in this episode. But for a particular piece of reference, yeah, it's Snow White. I don't know. So,
but unfortunately, it doesn't like
dwarves.
even work though. You can't even wake them up with a kiss.
Okay, here's a better reference. Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah! Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. Let's just name stoner movies.
Like, I got a question. So I noticed when Snorlax woke up, he didn't open his eyes. Does he ever open his eyes?
There are a few instances of Snorlax opening its eyes.
Maybe if he like gets really shocked. Does he have pupils?
Yeah, it's weird because they are just
terrifying?
Like they're just big white circles with the little black pupil. Really, it's really only seen in I think in like hurt animations in some 3D games like Stadium,
like
Pokemon
or Stadium.
Yeah,
I thought
if you see Snorlax's eyes, does that mean like he's like it's business time?
He's
like
coming after you.
Yeah. He's probably so mad. You're probably so stupid. Yeah, I'm just wondering what context he would actually open his eyes at that point.
Like if he's actually threatened, maybe. Because like we don't see the Snorlax in any sort of battle capacity here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There we go. In the Pokemon Stadium series and later 3D games, Snorlax open their eyes when they faint.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, only when they die?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Spends their life asleep and only wakes up to eat, and then when they faint, then they open their eyes finally.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so
only when we're
just
dead.
so backwards, right? That's what I was saying.
Revealed.
His real life is when he's sleeping, and when he wakes up to eat, that's like him doing his dream.
Do you think he's got like a family in his dreams? He's got like a wife and kids.
Well,
and when he wakes up,
that makes
me
want to ask another question. Maybe this is a little too far out there, but do Pokemon reproduce?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they
do they mate?
They introduced reproduction as a mechanic in Gold and Silver, right?
Did they?
Yeah. They always are very coy about it. They're always like, we don't know how this egg got here. No one's ever seen a Pokemon lay an egg before. But breeding is a whole thing.
I guess just because I only care about Snorlax. Do they mate with each other? Like, do they have sexes? Or are they just like sleep and then poop an egg and then walk off or something? How does it go?
Snorlaxes can be gendered. You can get, right?
Yeah, 87.5% of Snorlax are male, 12.5% of Snorlax are female.
Would you be able to tell the difference? Could you tell the difference or no?
I don't think there's a gender difference for Snorlax.
Are they monogamous or are they polygamous?
I think every Pokemon is polygamous to an extent because they can breed with multiple different Pokemon.
This is the weirder part. Yeah, breeding doesn't have to happen same species either, Ryan.
What?
So, like, a Snorlax will have a mating pool of Pokemon that it's eligible for, right?
It's all about egg groups, yeah.
Will they create... Like, what kind of offspring would it create?
The female passes down the species. So whatever the female Pokemon is. Or
so
any Pokemon that can breed with a Ditto as well. And will pass down whatever the non-Ditto species is.
What? So you're telling me that a Charizard can mate with a female Snorlax, and you're going to get a Snorlax?
Yep.
That's how it works.
Yep.
Huh. Whoa.
Now, what is the smallest Pokemon that could mate with the Snorlax? Like a Rattata? Because that's just disturbing.
Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle are all in the monster egg group with
oh my god,
Snorlax.
So they just climb up there and go to town.
As are the Nidorans, yeah.
Wow.
And Cubone. Lickitung, that's a fun one.
Oh man.
Lickitung with anyone. I don't know, man.
Lickitung is...
That's wild.
Wow.
That's a fetish website
that's
waiting to be opened.
All right, let's rate.
Yeah, 4 time. Let's wrap this thing up.
And the first one will be the humor of the episode.
Okay, pretty good. I mean, we pointed out some good Team Rocket bits like usual, and the whole like Meowth dressed up as a prince and smooching thing. Psyduck blushing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not bad.
I thought it was
Tommy Chong.
Reasonably funny.
Reasonably funny.
I find Psyduck pretty hilarious, actually.
Psyduck's amazing.
Psyduck is pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
I think it's funnier, too, how no one in the show is aware that he's funny. Like, they all seem to just think he's annoying.
Yeah.
I'm saying 7.
Yeah, I was going to say 7.5, I think.
I was thinking of 6.
Okay.
Holy.
We're making this hard for you, Kel.
Oh, goodness. I was going to say, are we Do we do decimal points? We haven't done a single decimal point yet. We get decimals in the ratings, but we've never rated as a decimal.
Well, as long as it's
do I round?
3.3.
Do I round? I don't know.
No, I keep it.
7.5. And what did you say, Graham?
6.
6? Oh god, that's too many numbers for me to.
What is it?
For me to math in my head.
Well, you could cut it off at 3 decimal
No, but I have
points.
to pull out the calculator.
Well, yeah.
Pull it 6.
I thought you were using a calculator.
Divided by 3. 6.83 repeating.
Of course.
Of course. And category number 2 will be anime sweat drops.
Oh, this is me. Okay, so this is the use of those sweat drop animations, usually for the purpose of humor or to, showcase some kind of emotion. Okay, so there are some sweat drops in the scene where Meowth is dressed up as a prince.
Mm-hmm.
When they pick him up, he's sweat dropping, and also the gang is like our main gang has the sweat drop animation when Team Rocket proposes it. Also, so that was a pretty good use of the trope. Is there another? Just looking through my notes, I think that's the main one. So it's a pretty good usage of it. It's not super prolific during this episode. How do we like that part? Anime sweat drops for exasperation for the kissing scene.
I remember there being a lot in one of these episodes. It must have been the Eevee one, though. I remember there being a lot in the Eevee episode.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 6.
Yeah, I was going to say 4.
Yeah, so let me get this anime sweat drops. Is that for like depicting like embarrassment or stress or something like that?
Yeah.
Now,
you know how like when they're like embarrassed or shocked at something, they'll have like a big sweat kind of.
Did the Snorlax have a sweat drop when he was kissed by Meowth? Because he definitely was affected.
The other Pokemon did, yeah.
Right. But not Snorlax. He was still keeping us like while
he shuffled a little. He
was
like
grimaced
he stirred a little,
but he was still. It didn't.
He wasn't possibly aroused. He was possibly having like a wet dream sort of situation.
Oh my god!
That is not fan art that I want. Not fan art.
Snorlax wet dreams. Oh man, Snorlax wet dreams would be legendary. They're asleep most of their life. They're just like, okay, the river would be flowing again if you know what I mean.
I don't think you can water crops with that.
Well, I don't want to do that research.
Oh wow. Okay, well I gotta give it a rating. Yeah, okay, so since Snorlax didn't have the sweat drop, I'm gonna give it a 3.
Ooh.
3, 4, and 6.
That's 13 again, which is 4.3 repeating. Of course.
Oh, he said it.
No, I was like, who's gonna say it?
Who's gonna say it?
Plus 6.83 divided by 2. This episode gets a 5.58, not repeating.
Maybe one of our most confusing.
But it's just based on those parameters, and then what we're saying that's the rating it gets is just like in general. Ouch!
It's subjective because it's randomly sampled. You can't argue with it.
I hit it low then.
Wake Up Snorlax is objectively a 5.58 out of 10.
Objectively.
Better than a good chunk of episodes we've done.
Oh yeah, so not a bad rating. Typically, episodes that are people's favorites, absolute banger classics, are ranked really poorly by the 4 or 4.
Yeah, Pikachu's Goodbye got, 4.75?
Yeah, fuck that episode. It sucks. It isn't super heartwarming and emotional at all.
I feel like I didn't get enough of my Snorlax dosage from this episode. I want to see one battle and open his eyes, man. I'm like, this was like a teaser for me. It was like the Snorlax is like on another level, and these mere mortals aren't worth his time. You know what I'm saying? I want to see the Snorlax like be awoken from his dogmatic slumber and start to just go on a rampage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like take down the village like an elephant in India who's looking for beer.
It's like he lives a life, he gets to be lazy because he's top dog, he doesn't need to do a whole lot, and then at some point he's got to stand up and say, all right, y'all been messing around too much, I gotta show you who's boss, and then I can go sleep again. You know what I'm saying? Like that thug life Snorlax compilation that I'm looking for, man.
I believe in the Orange Islands season, Snorlax does become more of a character.
Nah.
Ash.
Oh, there you go.
But then probably he's going to get his butt kicked, too. He's probably going to end up being like one of those characters that gets their butt kicked to hype up the new guy or something.
From what I remember, Snorlax in the Orange Islands is actually fucking awesome.
Oh, maybe.
So, maybe we'll
get there.
We'll check out when those episodes are and get you back on for those, Ryan,
Hell
if you had fun today.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, that's it for today.
Yeah, let's wrap this show up. Ryan, great to have you. I think we had some really fun conversations here. Definitely got to dig deep into some of the, more conceptually interesting parts of the show, which was definitely a delight. So this is To Kill a Delibird. If you're listening to us, you know that. You can find us wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. We're also on YouTube on the Skittlewickers YouTube channel.
Subject to change.
Please rank, review, thumbs up, like, subscribe, all of that social media crap that we gotta say. Intro and outro music is 80 Synthwave by Alexi Action. We've been TKAD, you've been the audience. Hope you enjoyed.
Do you want to know what you're doing next week, though?
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
We gotta know. We gotta find out.
What's next week, Kellan?
Next week, 2 more filler episodes. Oh my god, who could have seen that one coming?
I'm so full from all this filler.
Mm-hmm. It's episode 44, Showdown at Dark City, and episode 45, The March of the Executor Squad.
Oh, that sounds intense.
Mm-hmm. We got a lot of interesting new Pokemon to look at next week.
Heck yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
All right, please join us then. We're excited. You're excited. Everyone's excited. See ya.
You better be excited.